attorney.
Okay, welcome back. We are recording. Yes, we are. Cool. Let's continue. Oh boy. We are getting kinda close. Well, you know, there's still probably multiple videos worth of stuff before we get to the end of this episode, but you know, we're getting there, we're getting there. We are most certainly getting there. Yeah, Jessica's death and Cannon's too, but you know, he's missing. Man. Just fully blacked out. There is no corpse, but he is dead. The witch declared it in red. So, even without a corpse, his death is incontrovertible. Oof. Damn, like, yeah, just full on one of the younger people character deaths earlier on. Okay. With Jessica's death, it became certain that the culprit was hiding somewhere nearby, and that they would come after our lives if they had a chance. According to Genji-san, when tomorrow morning comes, the boat should arrive, but that's obviously, as we know, too late. The boat has a radio, too. We'll probably be able to contact the police immediately with that, sure. We all gathered in the parlor and decided to wait quietly until tomorrow, yeah? Let me just make sure, yeah, everything is working okay. I propose that we should search throughout the mansion for clues about the culprit. But Auntie Rosa rejected that, saying that if we put pressure on the culprit or provoked them, it might lead to a third murder. Well, no, eighth, seventh, ninth, no, I don't know. But yeah, I can see where she's coming from, but that was probably the right thing to do. Maybe. I do wonder how eventually, since I'm having played, you know, Higurashi, I'm expecting this to have a similar structure. I do wonder what the eventual like breakthrough method is gonna be. Like, are we gonna go actively searching, or is it simply going to be a, you know, deducing kind of thing? We deduce enough clues correctly and can put pressure on them like that, or what is gonna change? I don't know. Nothing doesn't need to change, you know, necessarily, but we'll see. Yeah. Even if a bunch of amateurs like us investigated, there's no way we'd find anything. Well, it would be wisest to focus on protecting ourselves without doing anything unnecessary and leave it to the police after tomorrow. Yeah, that's the logical conclusion. The easy conclusion. We had been tense in the beginning, but other than Auntie Rosa, most of us had spent all morning watching TV and were getting bored. So our sense of danger had grown much less intense. When we thought about it, I think is this the same CG we saw before? I'm not sure exactly. Oof. The first three are even faceless. I wonder if that has some deeper meaning. Hey, look, a heart candy. Love. The one true element. Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay, When we first thought about it, even though there certainly had been 6 adults killed at once in the first murder, that made us imagine that some backhanded method like poison had been used. Jesus, that image is haunting. Those hollow eyes, darkened eyes. And in the second murder, it was thought that those two had become sacrifices because they were unfortunately isolated from the rest of us. From this, we imagined that there weren't a great number of culprits. Yeah. And they didn't have the ability to kill this large group gathered in the parlor all at once. Right now, in this parlor, there was George, Aniki, and me, Maria, Auntie Rosa, Genji-san, Goda-san, Shannon-san, Kumasawa-san, and finally Dr. Nanjo. A total of 9 people were here. The only one not there is obviously Kinzo, but you know. Furthermore, Auntie Rosa was even armed with a gun. Yeah, let's see if things will go differently, if we won't separate in this episode at all, because last time obviously there was a split in the group when we went to the Kinzo study, and then had to separate 3 people, you know. None. It was Maria. It was it Genji? And Kumasawa? I forget. Surely, with this many people staying in this room, they wouldn't be able to touch us easily. That feeling of security, along with the passage of time, allowed us to recover from the shock of that morning bit by bit. I don't know if you guys are ever gonna fully recover from it, but yeah. Incidentally, lunchtime had just ended for us. However, it had been a canned food lunch, a far cry from last night's dinner, which Goda-san had skillfully made for us. Auntie Rosa too had suspected that poison had been used in the murder of those 6 people. So, we probably couldn't deny the possibility the culprit had snuck into the kitchen during all that confusion in the morning and mixed poison in with the ingredients there. Yeah, fair play, fair play. Auntie Rosa had ordered all of us not to put anything into our mouths except safe foods like canned food until the police came. Yeah. As a cook, Goda-san must have felt very let down. Poor man. As though he wanted to display his skill anyway, he said that he at least wanted to bring the plates and pile them up with canned food. At first, Auntie Rosa had been reluctant, examining each one of the plates that were brought, but she hadn't been able to find anything to complain about. I mean, better safe than sorry, but yeah, fair enough. And Goda-san's chef's pick canned food combo lunch had become a reality. Yay. Goda-san had said something about taste being savored not just with the tongue, but with the eyes too. Look at him, he's so happy. I found myself agreeing. It had been the same canned food we ate for breakfast, but it felt like something completely different.
バトラ、見て見て。これが狼と羊のパズル。
Okay, let's dive into this. Yeah, yeah. As I was sitting lazily on a sofa with no desire to watch TV, Maria came over, pulled a picture book out of her handbag, and held it out to me as she said that, yeah?
あ、なんだよ、その本は。狼と羊のパズル？
So once again, what I think the whole wolves and sheep puzzle is the whole idea of not leaving a sheep, in this case, any one of these 9 people alone. Otherwise, the wolf or the murderer will get them and eat them. You know.
どれどれ？
Wolves and sheep puzzle. It was a phrase that Auntie Rosa had said this morning when we had gone to call on Jessica. Yeah. I do wonder if it's gonna be just, about group mentality or like staying as a herd, or if it will include the idea of that famous boat problem with 3 animals, where if you leave one animal together with another one, then that one gets eaten, meaning that in order to solve the problem, you need to do like back and forth, going from one shore to the other and then back, while keeping one animal constantly in the boat, or something like that. Did I read that? Right. At the time, I hadn't known what it meant, and then, after that, there was the uproar with Jessica's body. Jessica's body was found, so I'd forgotten about it completely. Yeah. The book that Maria held out to me looked like a foreign picture book or something that had to be translated. Opening it, I could tell that the book contained an assortment of puzzles. Ooh, maybe that's the key to solving this whole deal.
何匹かの狼と羊よね。
1
台のボートを使って対岸まで連れてくパズルなの。
Okay, there we go. But just wolves and sheep, huh? That's interesting. That's different than the normal one, okay?
ああ、そんなルールのゲームを聞いたことあるな。これはそれの狼と羊バージョンなのか。
Ooh, melody instrumental version. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. Here they say where wolves, yeah, plural. So that might imply that there are multiple culprits, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh, sorry. It was a very simple puzzle passed on from long ago. Let's try one of the problems, sure. On the right bank, there are 2 wolves and 2 sheep. Okay, how many can we fit in the boat? There is a boat that as many as 2 animals can ride on. Ooh. And using it, you have to move all 4 of them to the opposite left bank, but assuming 2 wolves are left with 1 sheep, that's immediately game over, I guess. There are 2 rules. The first is regarding the boat. It can be paddled by wolves or sheep, and even just by 1 animal on its own. But it can only hold up to 2, sure. The second is regarding the wolves, yeah? When they are greater in number than the sheep in that location, they attack the sheep and it's game over. For example, at the start of the game, both sheep ride the boat and go to the other side. Then one sheep gets off and the other one goes back to the first bank. When it does, there are 2 wolves on the first bank, and a single sheep returns there. When that happens, there are more wolves, so the sheep is attacked and it's game over, yeah. Okay, how do we solve this? It's, so we take 1 sheep and 1, wolf to the boat, then go to the other shore, drop the wolf there, return with 1 sheep back to the shore, drop off that 1 sheep, take only the wolf, go to the other shore, drop the wolf there, go back. But we need to have someone controlling the boat. Yeah. That doesn't work. We need to do it, Yeah, unless you don't need to, like, go to the shore, with the boat, then that would work. Yeah. Take wolf and sheep, go to the shore, drop a wolf off, go back with the sheep, take another wolf and sheep with, or take the second wolf with you, along with the sheep in the boat, drop the second wolf off, but don't go to the shore itself with the sheep itself, then drive back, get the second sheep, if you can do that. But I don't know. Let's see. On either bank or even in the boat, there must not be more wolves than sheep. Okay, never mind. Even the bank. Okay, fair enough. Fuck. How do we do this again? I definitely have done this with 3, but I've never done it with 4 animals. Or, 2 animals, but 4. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'll let the game maybe explain. I'm not capable of producing the solution right now. It's a puzzle about how to shuttle them across in the boat under these conditions, yeah? By the way, the right answer is, on the first turn, move both wolves to the opposite... Oh, right, that one. Yeah. Both wolves. Huh? No. That still results... Okay, let me see. Both wolves to the opposite bank, yeah? Then 1 wolf comes back, yeah? On the second turn, move 2 sheep. Oh, right. 2 sheep. Yeah. Then 1 wolf comes back, then both sheep and wolf. Yeah. Then on the third turn, put that last wolf that was on the right bank on the boat. Last wolf that was on the right bank on the boat and crossed to the opposite bank and... Yeah, right. Partway, there may be the same number of wolves and sheep in the boat or on either side, but that isn't the problem, yeah. You only lose when the number of wolves is greater. This book symbolizes it using wolves and sheep, but there are probably lots of people who know this game with a different symbolism. It looked like Maria wanted to test whether I too could solve the puzzles she knew how to solve. And she kept showing me the different pages saying, solve this one, and this one's hard. Oh. What had been happening when Auntie Rosa had said the name of this puzzle? That's right. When we'd decided to go call Jessica, we had been talking about how many men should go. Ooh. And Auntie Rosa mentioned the wolves and sheep puzzle. and said that we should all go together, yeah?
おいおい。
At death's door. Oof. That could only mean one thing, yeah, she suspects that there's someone within this group that is the culprit. Or culprits. Auntie Rosa was saying that there are wolves among us, yeah? And when the number of wolves and sheep is balanced, we're safe. But when a situation comes up where that isn't the case, the wolves will bare their fangs. Is that what she's thinking? Yeah. And the scary thing about this real life version and not the picture book version is that you cannot tell who is a wolf and who is not. So, that adds layers. At the time we had found our parents' corpses, Auntie Rosa was already suspecting that the servants might be wolves. While she didn't know whether it was all of them or just some, she had sniffed out the possibility that wolves were hiding among them. Well, yeah, that murder scene was pretty damn elaborate. It's easy to imagine that there were multiple culprits. And considering that she had that idea already in mind when we went to Jessica's room, where Jessica had been alone with the servant, Kanon, and had been killed, it isn't hard to imagine why Auntie Rosa had suspected the servant so persistently.
使用人の皆さん、郷田さんが食器を洗いに厨房に戻ります。念のためです。皆さんも同行してください。
皆さん、申し訳ありません。
She's really hung on the idea that it's all or most of the servants and only the servants, none of the actual family.
団体行動で参りましょう。
シャノン、熊沢、行くぞ。
はいはい、ただいま。
Kumasawa's eyes looking mad suspect right now. At least.
それではジョージさん、一度失礼いたします。
At least some people are able to still keep a good energy going and laugh.
気をつけて。
Yeah.
あ、ローザおばさん。僕も一緒に行っていいかな。
I mean, she's probably gonna deny that.
ごめんなさい。ジョージ君は残ってくれるかしら。ちょっとお話ししたいことがあるの。
そうですか。シャノン、ごめん。とにかく気をつけて。
Yeah.
一人にならないでね。
はい。
南條先生、すみません。ちょっとご相談が。
はい、何ですかな。
The servants put the dishes and empty cans on the serving cart and started to head out into the corridor. Behind them, Auntie Rosa was talking to Dr. Nanjo about something in a small voice.
わかりました。
Oh?
参りましょう。
ええ。よろしくお願いしますね。
Check up on Kinzo, maybe? I don't know. Dr. Nanjo closed the book he had been reading, stood from the sofa, and followed after the servants. Oh. I see. Oh, Auntie Rosa stuck her head out into the hallway, and after watching them leave completely, she closed the door and spoke. Okay, here we go.
みんな聞いて。これで今ここにいるのは 後ろ宮の人間だけね。
Yeah, the one she thinks she can trust.
確かにそうなりますね。
狼を全部追い出したってことっすか？ローザおばさ
ん。With that one sentence, Auntie Rosa's gaze grew sharp. Apparently, she had picked up on my sardonic tone. Sardonic, okay. Quite a word. Auntie Rosa laughed lightly.
バトラ君は頭の回転が早いのね。
I mean, he is kinda the protagonist in a murder mystery, so...
賢い子は好きよ。
Oh, but also, what is that? Yeah, I guess that is a sharp look.
話が早いわ。
Yeah.
おー、
Maria?
バトラー頭いい？
Supposedly.
これ解ける？ 64ページの難しいの。
Part 1 on page 64. And 64. You know, that by itself, this probably doesn't mean anything, but like, some of the tracks have been like, they have had like dots in them or slashes in them or it seems much more digitized or like computer focused. And then there's the big numbers idea, and then there's the whole meta aspect of like going through stuff and trying again. Like this all really reminds me of like while not directly a simulation, very much, you know, computer related stuff. And you know, 64 is obviously 64-bit or something like that, so that kind of stuff just keeps slowly coming up, and I'm just wondering if it means anything or if I'm completely off track with that idea. I guess we'll see, because while initially I would think that this story could be as well, I don't want to say simple as just a murder mystery solve what's really what. But I have just, I don't know, feeling that Ryukishi likes throwing twists and going beyond. Like, I'm not gonna fully spoil Higurashi here, but like, you know, it starts out as, you know, we're in this village and oh my god, it goes places. But I guess we'll see. We'll see.
マリアは少しの間テレビを見ていなさい。
Damn.
ママはバトラ君たちとお話があるの。
Okay.
おー。
ローザおばさん、パズルの話はバトラ君に聞いたよ。用心深いのは悪いことじゃないと思うけど、さすがに疑り深すぎるのもどうかと思うよ。
真の犯人がベアトリーチェかどうかは別にして。
Beckoning soundtrack. Okay. Yeah, whether it is called Beatrice or not.
少なくとも使用人たちがその一味であることを疑うことはできると思うの。
Sure. No. I mean, from their point of view, yeah, yes, sure. From my point of view, no, because even though the servants are loyal to Kinzo, you know, I do think that Kinzo and Beatrice are kinda on opposite sides in this fight, or I don't know, bet, whatever you want to call it. But then again, I don't know everyone's backstory fully, so, you know. And also, we've already seen that Shannon has kinda made a contract with Beatrice and helped her out, so, you know, there's already that too.
兄さんたちが殺されていた最初の殺人、とても残酷な仕打ちがされていたわよね。あれが 一人でできる真似に見える。
Well, I mean, I guess we'll see. Yeah. Another interesting point is that in the first episode we were fully focused on whether or not there is a 19th person, and we were just full on this is a single culprit type of deal. But here in the second episode, we've already from the very beginning introduced Beatrice, but now we are bringing in constantly the idea of there being multiple culprits. So I wonder where the third story will take us. Are we just gonna keep bouncing between one murderer or multiple, or are we gonna do something completely different there? I guess we'll see.
謎の来客、ベアトリーチェ様が夜なべをして、チクチクやったのかもしれねえぜ。
Maybe.
ジェシカちゃんの部屋の扉をめぐるマスターキーの件は
Well, I think I gave one idea last time, but regarding briefly taking the key out from somewhere, but obviously from our player point of view, we've seen that Beatrice was just kind of there.
使用人の誰かが関わっている証拠じゃない。
Well, only a master key could have locked the door to Jessica's room. In that case, we can only suppose that one of the servants locked it. No. Wait.
チェス盤をひっくり返すぜ。おかしいよ、ローザおばさ
ん。Okay, bring it on, Battler.
なんで犯人はジェシカを殺した後、わざわざ施錠したんだ？施錠すれば、マスターキーの持ち主が疑われるのは必然。
Yeah?
わざわざ施錠する必要がないぜ。
Okay.
そうだよ。バトラ君の言う通りだ。わざわざ疑われるようなことをする理由がない。
それは面白い考えよね。
Yeah?
もちろん、私もそれは考えた。
Okay.
だとしたら、施錠した人物は使用人を疑わせたくて、マスターキーなしであの扉を閉めた。
Cast suspicion on the servants and lock the door without a master key. I mean, if that's what you want to believe, sure, but I would think that, well,
でもそれは不可能。でしょ？
Yeah. It can only be opened with the master key and there are no extras. That's right. If there was a trick that could lock the door without a master key, this would be a good disguise aimed at casting doubt on the servants. If the culprit wanted to isolate us and attack us one by one, this trick was a very effective one that could even give rise to paranoia. Yeah. I mean, very multi-purpose trick for the long term, yeah. However, there was no way to lock that door without using a master key. Yep, red text.
マスターキーを使わずに閉める方法がない。なんて、どうして言い切れるの？
Well, you see, Rosa, there's this mental battle going on between me and a multiple 100-year-old witch. In that battle, she she asserts made a game with me, and she cannot lie, and she spoke in red text, and surely this sounds believable. Yeah, from her point of view, obviously, she can't, say for certain.
ルドルフ兄さんの言っていた悪魔の証明になるんじゃない？私たちには想像もつかない方法で締められたのかもしれない。私たちに思いつかないからといって、 未知のトリックがあることを否定することにはならない。
Yeah. Sure.
そりゃそうだけどよ。つまりあれか？疑わしきは黒ってわけなのか？
The suspicious ones are guilty.
具体的なトリックはわからないけれど、それでも外角はわかるの。
Okay.
申し訳ないけど、カノン君を犯人だと仮定すると、非常に簡単に説明できる。
Yeah.
死体がない理由までね。
I'm still curious about the whole prospect of like here they've been wondering if Kanon is actually the culprit. Obviously, earlier on the players saw that it was Beatrice and her demons attacking them, but you know there's always the possibility that we had an unreliable narrator moment with Jessica's POV, and you know it was actually Jessica just hallucinating something, and in reality Kanon was the one who attacked her. But you know, that's that's not something we can really figure out until the game lets us figure it out. Sorry. But if we suppose that Kanon was the culprit, it can, yeah, even as to why there was no corpse, yeah, because he's hiding away.
だって、カノン君はマスターキーを持ってなかったんですよ。
Well, yeah, but you guys don't know that there aren't extras, you know. The servants could have been lying.
他の使用人ならともかく、カノン君にだけは施錠はできなかったはず。
But wasn't the case so that was it Genji or who was it that was with them there originally?
なるほど。それでローザおばさんは、ジェシカの部屋に入って早々に、俺たちにクローゼットなんかを探せと言い出したわけか。ローザおばさんこそ、普段の様子から想像できるより、頭の回転が速いな。
Sure is, yeah.
妹の頭の回転速度は、常に姉マイナス1よ。
The brain speed of a little sister is always the big sister minus one. What a line. Let me, I'm gonna share that to my friends.
今は誰にも気を使う必要がないからせいせいするわ。
Okay. George Aniki realized that she was referring to Auntie Ava. And seemed a little disturbed about how he should take that nasty remark.
ごめん。
Yeah.
僕にも分かるように説明してほしいな。カノン君のマスターキーはジェシカちゃんのポケットに入って密室に閉じ込められていた。施錠した後に部屋の外からポケットに入れるなんて芸当は不可能なはず。
Well, you know, you guys could always think, you know, there's windows, there's secret entrances, there's, you know, drill a hole from the ceiling, somehow slide it under the door into her pocket because she was laying on the floor, you know. There are implausible ways, but, you know, they are very unrealistic, but, you know, still, you know, not impossible.
違うんだよ、兄貴。
Yeah?
ローザおばさんの想像しているやり方なら、このトリックは、カノン君にしか使えない。
Oh?
そして、ジェシカのポケットにマスターキーを入れたまま、鍵なしで施錠することができる。
While the master key was still in Jessica's pocket.
そして、その結果として、死体もなくなることになる。
どうやって
Okay, lay it on me. I mean, my idea currently is, if we follow along with this idea that Kanon is the murderer, kills Jessica, leaves his own master key to her pocket, gets out of the room, quickly calls a servant, whoever, Kumasawa, sure, and Kumasawa locks the door and then returns to the kitchen. Kanon goes hiding.
鍵なしでどうやって施錠するんだい？
簡単よ。ジョージ君だって帰宅したら施錠するでしょ？
Huh?
つまみをひねって、カチリとね。
Okay. Oh, do you mean that Kanon is still inside that room or escaped through the window or something, or... Oh, can it be locked out from outside?
まさか。いや、でも、カノン君の姿はどこにも。
Yeah.
兄貴にもピンときたみてえだな。ローザおばさんが室内を探したのはそういうことだ。
Oh, or, you know, oh, right, without master key, if there's a, inside the door, or inside the room, there's a way to just twist the knob and lock it, you know, you would only need a little piece of, you know, sellotape or something to just quickly pull and, lock it.
内側から鍵を閉め、ジェシカのポケットに鍵を突っ込んだカノン君が。
Yeah?
どこかに隠れて、俺たちをやり過ごそうとしているのを探したんだ。
Sure. Or just that, yeah. The simplest lock room trick. In other words, to hide inside the locked room after committing the murder. Yeah. And if he could get out after those who discovered the body left, it would create a perfect locked room murder.
私たちはあの部屋を探したけれど、何も見つけられなかった。
Sure did not.
でも、だからといって、あの部屋に使用人たちしか知らない秘密の隠し通路のようなものがないとは言えない。
True. Very true.
それがどこに隠されていたかはわからないけれど、その隠し通路を仮定し推理することで、彼しかありえないと断言できるのよ。
その推理はよ、俺も一番最初に考えた。
Yeah. This is kind of funny because we have a 3-layer mystery mystery solving going on. There's the first layer of Rosa and Battler in universe reality trying to figure it out, and then there's the second layer of the Tea Party moment here of Battler versus Beatrice, and then there's us, the player.
一番嫌な推理だから、一番最初にその可能性を潰したかった。
Hello, Beatrice. Always nice to see you.
カノンはこの部屋で殺された。であろう？
De aro. But obviously this knowledge doesn't transfer to reality, so, you know, they're kind of stuck on thinking, you know, there's the devil's proof. It could have been this or could have been that. There's no way to know for certain.
そなたはカノンが犯人であると疑いそうになったため、真っ先にその可能性を潰すために、これを復唱させたのだ。わかっておるわかっておる。
Oh boy.
だから、その次に考えたのはこうだった。
Yeah?
あの部屋にいたのは実は3人だったという説だ。
There were actually 3 people in that room, okay?
ジェシカとカノン君は被害者。そして、犯人である来客ベアトリーチェも一緒にいた。という考えだ。
Okay.
そなたは、人間であるわらわが、魔法を使わずに犯行を行ったことにしたいのだったな。
Yep, that's the game.
なるほど。そなたにぴったりの陳説であるぞ。
陳説。
お前は2人を殺し、内側から施錠した。そして、カノン君の死体を担いで、普通の人は気づかない秘密の方法。つまり、隠し扉を使って部屋から脱出したんだと読んだ。
I forget if they mentioned that there are no hidden doors there in red.
しかし、
Yeah.
お前に
Okay.
赤で言われちまった。
Okay. Yeah.
あの部屋に隠し扉の類はないってな。
You know, the only thing that was mentioned that would be a plausible escape would be the window, you know.
うん。お前たちの知らない秘密の通路は存在せぬぞ。ノックスだったかバンダインだったか。
I don't know those references. Not a big book reader myself.
何でもミステリーには秘密の通路があってはいけないらしい。
In mystery novels, there must never be hidden passages, no matter what they
そのお作法にわらわも従ったということよ。
Okay, Beatrice, okay.
つまり名探偵は部屋を調べ尽くさずして隠し通路がないと断言できるわけだ。人間の推理ごっことはなんとお気楽なものよな。
くそ。でけえこと言いやがるぜ。
Yeah, she's got your number. But I think the one idea I stated earlier on and in the previous video is still alive.
ありがとよ。魔女様のお取り計らいのおかげで、俺も部屋を探し尽くさずに、あの部屋に隠し扉がないと断言できるぜ。
うん。この部屋に隠し扉はない。扉と窓以外に出入りする方法はない。
ってことはよ。今、ローザおばさんがぶってる自信満々の仮説は間違ってるってわけだ。
Yeah.
しかも悔しいことに、この仮説は反証不能だ。
Yeah, unless we can, you know, somehow make her believe that this red idea is enough proof in reality, while not showing. Yeah, we can't really, yeah.
魔女のお前は赤で、隠し扉はないと断言すれば、それで決着する。
Yep.
しかし人間の俺は、ローザおばさんにそれを反論しても、受け入れられないだろう。隠し扉がないことを人間は証明できない。
Oh, quite a line and true, and it hurts. Yeah, that hurts.
悪魔の証明になっちまう。くそ。
So, I wonder if, in these kinds of situations, if we should just change the game a bit and not focus on, you know, the inevitable devil's proof of, you know, there could always be this or that, but we just don't know how. And just, we should simply settle on for the most likely correct answer with our own knowledge. You know?
魔女ってのは便利だな。
Yeah. This is another curious point. This is going. I'm gonna talk a bit about Higurashi here. So I don't know. I'll just put this on while I talk about it. So in Higurashi, it took us quite a while to introduce, you know, how the murderings were happening and bringing the actual killer to the forefront of the story. Obviously, you know, they were introduced and whatnot, but it took a while to actually do that. It was quite late in the game. But here we have so early on, already in episode 2, we've like fully brought in Beatrice and fully shown that she is using magic, unless, you know, unless we are hallucinating or something, I don't know. But from my point of view, from my simple point of view, we've already brought in the killer and her killing methods. So this game operates very differently, at least from what I've gathered so far. And I'm really curious as to how we are actually going to solve this like, are we eventually, like with Higurashi, going to bring so much more knowledge late game into this that kinda was there but kinda wasn't really revealed? Like, are we just gonna bring more witches into this and not change the objective? You know, I think the objective will always stay the same of, you know, finding the gold and hopefully avoiding these murders, although that might not be a necessary step because, you know, there's the whole all will be resurrected in the prophecy. But yeah, I'm just really curious how similarly we are following with Higurashi's, you know, tone or protocol, the story. Are we ever going to leave this island? Are we gonna go beyond these 2 days? Those are all thoughts that are rummaging through my head right now. I'll obviously talk more about it at the end of this episode whenever we get there. Probably after the Witch's Tea Party if we get a second one. Yeah. Okay, cool. Devil's Proof, huh?
そんな、あるかないかもわからない隠し扉を理由にカノン君を犯人呼ばわりするなんて、僕は納得できないな。
納得できないならより納得できる推理を聞かせて。ないのよ。
Yeah, and that's the problem.
私はずっと考えてる。これしかないのよ。ジョージ君はシャノンちゃんと仲が良かったわね。だから使用人全員が犯人であることは受け入れがたいと思うの。
Yeah, it really doesn't sit well with George.
私もシャノンちゃんが犯人の一味であるなんて信じたくない。でも全員であるか否かはともかく、確実にあの中に犯人もしくは共犯がいるのよ。それだけは見誤っちゃダメ。
Okay, I mean, again, from our point of view, Beatrice is is the culprit, but you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that the servants couldn't be with her, even though we the player have not seen anything like that yet.
カノン君以外にも狼がいると見てたんだな。ジェシカの部屋で犯人はカノン君だと大騒ぎしたのは使用人たちの反応を見るため。
Very smart.
っていうのか。
Very quick reaction and quick thinking.
ええ、そうよ。そしてその結果、私は一層の疑いを持つに至ったわ。確実に使用人の中に狼がいる。
Oh, I'm really curious if, even if not necessarily, the servants being in cahoots with Beatrice, I'm really curious if there is like a third or a fourth party with their own agenda and motives going on, doing things here, you know? Because obviously everyone is kinda, each branch of the Shomei family is already fighting for the gold, so you know they each could have their own agendas, and then there's Kinzo with Genji definitely on his side. I want to say Kanon too, but not sure. Definitely Genji with him. So that's another party. Then there's Beatrice, which is a third party, or well, you know, I guess that's the official second party. You know, there's Genji's camp, Kinzo's camp and Beatrice's camp, with the possibility of each of the adults having their own agenda of, you know, possibly doing horrible things. But I'm beyond those obvious ones. I'm curious if there's you know, other people, like if Kumasawa has some hidden backstory and she's actually been doing these things on her own, separate from everyone else, or if Shannon has some dark secret we've yet to see. Yeah, That's kind of what I've been also thinking about.
確実にね。
Certain, huh?
そして狼と羊のパズルのように普段はおとなしくしているけれど、チャンスがあったら襲ってくるに違いないの。ジェシカちゃんは一人で船に乗った羊よ。あのパズルでは頭数の時は襲ってこないけど、私たちのパズルは違う。チャンスと人数次第なら頭数でも襲ってくる。
Yeah. Not only do you not know the wolves, who the wolves are just based on appearance, but also they may break the rules of not necessarily needing to overpower the group.
ジェシカちゃんが殺されたように。
Yeah.
僕は怒りたいことがある。じゃあ厨房へ行かされてるシャノンは危険な状態じゃないか。
I mean, yeah, if only one of those people there is not a wolf and is a sheep, then obviously they are in great danger. Assuming the others are working together, but you know.
今すぐ僕たちも厨房へ行くべきだ。誰が狼だろうと狼でなかろうと。僕たち全員が揃っていれば均衡するならそれを保ち続けるべきだと思う。
シャノンちゃんはお父様のところへ源氏さんと一緒に行った。
Okay.
その時に孤立したはずなのに殺されなかった。
Yeah, true.
源氏さんも狼ではないから。
Good question.
違うわ。
Oh.
二人とも狼だったからよ。
Oh. I mean, that is, from your point of view, obviously, that is kind of a good logical line of thinking, but you know, there could be so much uncertainty as to why they wouldn't kill her even if she wasn't a wolf.
シャノンは悪事の片棒を担ぐような人じゃない。
Oh, George.
いくらローザおばさんでもそれは聞き流せません。今の発言に対し僕は取り消しを要求します。
兄貴の前で悪いが、その論法エヴァおばさんの雰囲気にそっくりだな。
It really does feel like Eva, yeah.
こっちが反論できなきゃ自動的に自分が正しいみたいな。やっぱり血は争えないな、おばさん。
Damn.
私だって今の自分はあまり褒められたものじゃないとは思ってる。
Yeah, but yeah, it's the necessarily evil. You have to suspect people like this even if it's not well liked or people don't want to do that, just to make sure the safety of those remaining here.
でもね、私は母なの。
Yeah.
マリアの無事を守るためなら鬼にもなるわ。
Higurashi reference.
本当ならマリアと二人きりでどこかに閉じこもっていたいくらいよ。でも私は同時にあなたたちの母でもあるつもりなの。今やあなたたちは私の子供も同然。私は自分の子じゃないからといってあなたたちを見捨てたりしない。絶対。
そりゃどうも。
私はあなたたちの母として油断しないでと警告したかっただけなの。
Yeah.
常に私の目の届くところにいて、私があなたたちを守ってあげる。
Oh, that feels like a crucial line. Not just within this specific context, but that feels like an overall thing, like overall idea we should keep in mind. Always remain where I can see you. I will protect you.
ついでに俺たちが狼でないことも監視してくれるってわけだ。
Well, yeah, but you know, we're not verbalizing that part.
そりゃありがたいぜ。そういうおばさんは自分が狼ではないって証明はできるのかよ。
I mean, so far she hasn't shot anyone with the gun.
できるわ。
Yeah?
即答っすね。どうやって？
これよ。これが証拠よ。
The gun? Oh, fully giving us a nice shot of the gun. Auntie Rosa held up the gun and pointed the barrel at me. But that was only for an instant. She immediately lowered the gun, laughing impishly. But to me, the time I spent staring down the barrel of the gun had felt like an eternity. Oh, yeah.
その銃がどうローザおばさんが犯人でないことを証明するというんですか。
考えてもみて。私が犯人だったらどう？使用人たちが出ていたこの千載一遇の機会を逃すと思う。あなたたちをズドンと撃って、あとは適当な言い訳をするだけよ。
Yeah?
窓の外にベアトリーチェが現れて銃を撃ってきたとかね。
No, but watch this be an actual thing that will eventually happen or has happened already. Beatrice appearing outside the window and shooting at us with the gun. Beatrice's greatest magic, shotgun shell.
私は2発を撃ち返したと称して2発分の空薬莢を床に捨てればいい。
そりゃすげえ乱暴な理論だが、確かに一理あるぜ。
Oh, yeah.
クラウス兄さんが昔よく言ってたわ。
Yeah?
力こそ正義ってね。
Might makes right, huh?
これがまさにそうなのかしら。
I don't know.
ごめんなさいね、二人とも。私も今朝からの事件続きでかなり冷静さを失ってる。普段の私を知る二人から見れば、今の私は余裕がなくて少し短気そうに見えるかもしれない。
Yeah.
でも分かって。私は悪意ある犯人からあなたたちを守りたい。そのためには鬼になる。それだけのことなの。
それだけのこと。
怒らせるようなことを言ってごめんなさいね。バトラ君、ジョージ君、仲直りしましょう。
George Aniki was wearing an unsatisfied expression. Yeah, like, you can't really refute what she's doing because she, you know, we all understand that from her point of view, she's doing this all to protect us, to protect those close to her. And yeah, she hasn't technically said anything, you know, wrong. But it still sucks that George's to-be wife is excluded from our camp. He probably couldn't forgive the damage done to Shannon's honor. What about me? Several bits of circumstantial evidence hint strongly at the servant's participation. Sure. I don't want to believe that one of them is the culprit, or possibly colluding with the culprit. But in the current situation, that's nothing but wishful thinking. Yeah, right now you're not in a position to think one way or the other. Oh, who should I believe? Oh, I wonder if that's going to become a crucial line. I mean, clearly right now it is. Okay, but like in the end game, if that's gonna become a big idea, us needing to decide who to believe. But yeah, right now it's also a thing. Are we gonna side with Rosa, or are we gonna go with our own guts, or what's the play? And by this point we've already realized that Beatrice has done her damage. We are already suspecting each other. Damn. Damn. In the first place, who is the culprit? Are there accomplices? If so, how many? I feel like I'm constantly only suspecting the people connected to all this. I find myself quickly forgetting about that 19th person. The guest, Beatrice, who came yesterday and boldly called herself the Golden Witch. Yeah, fully on disrupting the game board. I haven't actually seen her face. I've heard that she's like a double of the witch in that portrait, but because I haven't seen her directly, no matter how hard I try, I can't really feel like there are 19 people on this island. That is kind of funny, considering in episode 1 it was told that Battler couldn't really see Beatrice in her witch form. She was always invisible to him, and even now he still hasn't met with her. So I easily slip into the illusion that the culprit is one of the 18. Ah, damn it. Come out, Beatrice. You're the bad guy, then act like the bad guy and show yourself, laughing in a high-pitched voice and looking down on us. I would love that turn of events. Just like a bad guy in one of those dramas who, even once they're exposed as the culprit, aggressively says, "Is there any proof?" Same, Beatrice, same. Poor Battler.
証拠は終わりかの？
うっせえ。てめえはしばらく黙ったろ。
Just that quick line of cutting in. Damn, that was funny. Okay, scene change. And we're getting this servant side. I think we're gonna call it here. This is like halfway through the chapter, but I think I'm gonna call it here and continue next time. Still in the wolves and sheep puzzle, but yeah. Wow, that was a lot of fun stuff. Yeah, I don't have that much to add here right now. I pretty much voiced all my ideas during the scenes themselves. I am curious though if we are more gonna go down on the down with the route of the who can I trust, and getting even more suspicious of each other rather than trying to pin the blame on Beatrice or one of the servants. I wonder if we're gonna get any more, you know, hints towards the solving the riddle, the mystery, the epithet, during this finale of episode 2. Maybe. I guess we'll see. I'll definitely be keeping an eye out on them, but we'll see. Mayonnaise or mustard bottle. Nice. Cool. Okay, yeah, let's end it here. Patreon early access up to 2 weeks. Links down in the description. Cool. See ya.